Look at this f***ing cat!
And then these f***ing cats. So the most wonderful time of the year has come around again, Halloween. The original plans that I had for this year sort of fell through a little bit. They weren't up to scratch, I don't think. They weren't bad, but I just didn't think they were good enough to publish. I will, however, be working to update those, and I hope to have that out next week. And if not next week, it'll be out the week after. What that pattern was intended to be was a Russian nesting doll style Halloween cat. And you can see an example of one of my earlier designs here. While the two outer pieces didn't quite work out, they just need a little bit of shaping and possibly a few more details. The first cats in the sequence actually worked out okay. I think they're rather cute. And I've taken to calling these guys Hallow Kitties. And now that I've said that out loud, I realize that works much better as a written pun rather than a spoken one, but we're just gonna run with it. Let's pretend it works. So what you can do with this pattern is make several varieties. There's a basic pattern, which is just the basic body and head shape. And then from there, you can customize them how you would like. So I started with my little skeleton Hello Kitty. And here I've got a pumpkin kitty, a Frankenstein's monster kitty, a zombie kitty, and a little ghost kitty. You can come up with whatever idea you like, just crochet some extra details, slap those on there, and there you go, Hello Kitty. And so this is what we're going to be making today. However, if you would like to make the nesting doll version, what you will need to do is crochet yourselves one of these anyway, because that is the first in the sequence. But before you actually do that, there is a couple of things that you need to know. The first thing that you need to know is that each of the nesting doll pieces are crocheted in different sizes. Therefore, you're going to need 3 different size crochet hooks. What I would recommend you do is, with whatever yarn you're using, so I'm going to be using this Marvel 8-ply, find out what the recommended hook size of your yarn is, and mine is 4mm. Then what you'll do is you'll grab the recommended hook size, half a size down from that, again I'll be using 3.5mm, and then half a size down from that again. So that is a 3mm in my case. So crochet yourself the Hello Kitty in the smallest size hook, and then when the nesting doll pattern is out in a week or two, you'll crochet the second size in the 3.5mm hook, or the in-between hook size, and then the third and largest piece you're going to crochet in the recommended hook size, or your largest hook size. I'm only giving a brief explanation here because I'll save the more detailed explanation for the actual nesting doll pattern. Like I said, today we're just making these guys, which can be made as a separate pattern. So if you would like to crochet your own, grab your hooks and let's get started. To make any of the Hello Kitties, you're going to need a 3.5mm hook, scissors, stitch markers, a needle, pins, some stuffing, a pair of 12mm safety eyes, as well as 8-ply yarn in colors of your choice. In this video, we are going to be making the skeleton version, so we'll be using black and white. Additionally, you may also want to have some supplies for adding details to your kitties. This could include things like a pipe cleaner to insert into the tail, a felting needle, some embroidery thread, anything of that nature. We're going to start off today by crocheting the body for our little Hello Kitties. And for all of them, this remains the same. The one exception would be the zombie kitty. For that one, I made the changes in one of the front legs. I reduced the total round number of the legs by 2, and I started off in red just to give the appearance that the leg had been amputated. But for the rest, the body remains the same. And we actually start that off by crocheting the legs first, because we then crochet the legs to the body. And we're going to make 2 front legs. I've already made one, so I'll set that aside, and I'm going to make the second here with you guys. We're going to start off with 6 single crochet in a magic circle. and then just close that up. Round 2 is also going to be 6 single crochet. For round number 3, when I've turned my work the right way out, there we go. For round number 3, we're going to start off with an increase, and an increase is just 2 single crochet in the same stitch. I'll place my first stitch, go back into the same stitch. No, I'll place my single crochet and go back into the same stitch and place my second. And then we're going to follow this up with 5 single crochet. Round 4, we're going to do 7 single crochet. Round 5 also begins with an increase, and after that increase we're going to do 6 single crochet. After round 5, we should now have 8 stitches in total in our round, and then both rounds 6 and 7 are each going to be 8 single crochet, but if you're like me, you'll probably find it easier just to do 16 single crochet consecutively. When you're finished, you're just going to cut a short tail. We're not going to be sewing these to anything, so you don't need to leave a tail long enough for sewing. We're just going to weave it in instead. So I'm going to grab my needle and thread the end through that. And then I just want to secure that and hide this end. And after you've made the first front leg, you can go ahead and make a second one. And when that's finished, we're going to go on and crochet the body. The body also starts off with 6 single crochet in a magic circle. And round 2 is going to be 6 increases. What we're going to do for round 3 is begin with 3 single crochet, 1, 2, and number 3, and then we're going to do 3 increases in a row. An increase in the next stitch, increase again in the stitch after that, and then one more increase, and then we're just going to repeat this pattern again. We're going to do 3 single crochet and then finish the round by doing 3 increases. For round 4, we're going to start with 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, then an increase in the third stitch, and we're going to repeat this pattern all the way around for 6 times in total. I hate it when the yarn does this, these ridiculous joins. So I'm just going to give that the old snip and get rid of you. Yuck. And I'm just going to have to rejoin my yarn. Did I? No, I didn't finish that increase. Maybe I should have done that first. Never mind, I got it. Okay. While I join my yarn, I will tell you that rounds 5 all the way through to 9 are each going to be 24 single crochet. We're going to decrease in round 10, but we'll start off by doing 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, and then we're going to do our first invisible decrease. To crochet that, you're going to go under the front loops of the next 2 stitches, and the front loop is the part of the stitch here that's closest to you. Go under the first front loop, then go under the front loop of the stitch after that. At this point, you'll want to yarn over and pull through both of those front loops, and this should leave you with 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over once more and pull through both of those loops. And that is our first decrease done. We're just going to repeat 2 single crochet, 1 decrease 5 more times, or 6 in total for the entire round. In round 11, we're going to be joining the legs to the body, and we're going to do that using crochet. To make this a little bit easier, or what I hope will be easier to understand, I'm going to be breaking down this round into parts A, B, C, and D. We're going to begin with round 11, part A, and that is just to crochet 9 single crochet. 2, 3, 4. Oh, I see you join. Why is there another join right there? 5. I'm going to get rid of you in a second. 6, 7. Damn it. Get out of here. What was I up to? 7. Let me double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7. I have to rejoin my bloody yarn again. Okay, that was 8, and now 9. And I'm just double checking again so I don't throw myself off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, round 11, part A is done. For round 11, part B, we're going to join the first of our legs. What you'll want to do is work into the leg first, and we're going to do that by working from the inside out. So I'm going to insert my hook into a stitch of the leg, it doesn't matter which one. I'm going to start from inside my work and push my hook out, under the stitch and out like that. From here, you're going to go straight into the next free stitch of the body. This is the last stitch we've worked. This is the stitch we're going to work into now. You're going to insert your hook straight into that stitch. Then you're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through both stitches, both the stitch from the body and the stitch in the leg. Once you've done that, just yarn over again and finish your single crochet. We're going to do this twice more, so we're single crocheting each leg to the body for 3 stitches. Go into the stitch of the leg, from inside the leg to out, go straight into the next free stitch of the body. Hang on, my hooks come out, there we go. Okay, into the next free stitch of the body, and you're going to single crochet once more. Yarn over, pull through both the stitch of the body, the stitch of the leg, have 2 loops on your hook, and finish off your single crochet. Once more, going into the stitch from the leg, then straight into the next stitch from the body. Yarn over and pull through both stitches, then yarn over to finish your single crochet. That was our 3rd stitch joining the 2 legs together. Now we're going to do round 11 part C, which is joining the 2nd leg. And we're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to go into a stitch from the leg, from inside to outside. From there, you're going to go straight into the next free stitch of your body. Single crochet the 2 pieces together. Jump down to the next free stitch in the leg. And then straight into the next free stitch in the body. single crochet, and our final one into the stitch of the leg, straight into the stitch of the body, and single crochet. And then once the second leg is joined, we're going to do round 11 part D, which is just 2 single crochet in the 3 remaining stitches. 1, 2, and 3. After we've finished round 11, we should now have 22 stitches in total, and the breakdown of that is 9 single crochet from round 11 part A, then 5 stitches in each leg. We have 5 here because we finished our legs with 8 stitches in the final round, and then we've crocheted them to the body for 3 stitches, and 8 minus 3 gives us 5, so that is 5 in each leg. And then round 11 part D is those final 3 stitches. All up, that gives us 22 stitches to work with. So for round 12, we're just going to do 22 single crochet, and we're just going to follow that breakdown I just did. We're going to begin with 9 single crochet, and 9. Then from there, we're going to jump across to the next free stitch of the leg. You're going to keep the loop of your yarn on your hook as close to the head of the hook as possible, and then bring that down to the next free stitch. This just helps to reduce holes or gaps. Then we're going to single crochet into that first free stitch of the leg, 1, and we're going to do 5 single crochet in total in the leg, 2, 3, 4, and 5. After this 5th stitch, we're going to jump from this point to the next free stitch in the second leg. Again, I'm keeping the loop on my hook as close to the head as possible. I'm just going to bring that down to the next free stitch, insert my hook in there, and we're going to do 5 single crochet across this second leg, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And all that remains now is to work into those 3 single crochet that we did in round 11 part D. So 1, 2, and 3. Round 13 is 9 single crochet and a decrease repeated twice. Round 14 is 8 single crochet and a decrease repeated twice. And then our final round of the body, round 15, is just 1 single crochet, 1 decrease, repeated 6 times. And all we have to do now is leave a tail so we can sew this onto the head. And as a finishing touch, add a bit of stuffing to the body. You don't need to stuff the legs. If you do stuff them, they're going to like stick out really far and it doesn't look good. So I would not recommend that. Just add your stuffing to the body. While I already have this grey coloured yarn out that I'm using for the body, I'm going to crochet the tail as well. And for the tail, we begin with 6 single crochet in a magic circle. And then what I'm going to do is just keep crocheting until I reach the desired length for the tail. I plan to do 15 rounds, so that will be rounds 2 to 16, which is 90 single crochet, I think. Maybe I should check that. So that's what I'm going to do, but this part is customizable. You can just crochet, you don't have to count, just crochet it until you reach a good length, or you could do fewer rounds, you could do more rounds than I'm planning to do. Totally up to you and how long you want your little Hello Kitty's tail to be. But for reference, I am going to be doing rounds 2 through to 16 as 6 single crochet each. And when we're done with that, we're just going to leave a tail for sewing. And then the next piece we'll crochet will be the head. We're going to crochet the head now, and what I'm going to do is crochet the head in black and white, because I'm going to be making this skull version of the head with the color changes. Now, you may wonder why I'm making the head in black and white and the body in grey. Well, the reason is I'm going to be making a few different varieties of these cats, and while I wanted to show you how to do the color changes for the skull head, I also wanted to do a body in a lighter yarn color because it makes the joining part a lot easier to see. If you use black yarn for a project, you will know that it can be difficult to see, you know, IRL, let alone on a little phone screen. So that is why I use the lighter grey for this. I will be making a head to go with this body that we already crocheted, but the head that I'm going to be doing here is going to be the skull version, and I'll be making a black body to go with that as well. So we're going to begin our little skull head with our black yarn, and round 1 is 6 single crochet in a magic circle. Round 2 is 6 increases. Round 3 is 1 single crochet, 1 increase, repeated 6 times. Round 4 is where we're going to do our first color change, but we're going to begin in black. So in the black, do 2 single crochet, 1 increase, and repeat that twice, but don't finish the second increase. And if you're not sure what I mean by that, I will explain it in just a sec once I've crocheted these other stitches. I'm about to start my second increase. I'm going to go into the stitch, do the first single crochet of the increase, but on the second one I'm going to go into the stitch, I'm going to yarn over and pull through so I have 2 loops on my hook, but I'm not going to finish in the black. I'm going to pick up my white yarn, I'm going to bring that in and line the end up behind my hook. I will then yarn over in the white yarn, pull through the 2 loops on my hook, and finish the stitch with that. I'm then going to crochet 2 single crochet, 1 increase, repeated twice in the white. I'm up to my second increase in the white, and I'm going to do the same thing I did in my last black increase. I'm going to do the first stitch of the increase in white, but the second one I'm not going to finish. I'll go into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, so I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to drop the white at this point. I'm going to pick the black back up and finish the stitch in that. To finish off round 4, I'm going to do 2 single crochet, 1 increase, repeated twice in the black. We're going to do round 5 in a similar manner to how we did round 2, except this time we're going to be repeating 3 single crochet, 1 increase. We're going to do 3 single crochet, 1 increase, repeated twice in black, 3 single crochet, 1 increase, repeated twice in white, and then 3 single crochet, 1 increase, repeated twice in black to finish off. For round 6, we're going to start with 10 single crochet in black, then we're going to change to white, do another 10 single crochet, and then change back to black and do 10 single crochet to finish off the round. Round 7, we're going to begin with 4 single crochet, 1 increase repeated twice in black, then 4 single crochet, 1 increase repeated twice in white, and finally 4 single crochet, 1 increase repeated twice in black again. Rounds 8 and 9 are the same. We're going to start with 12 single crochet in black, swap to white for 12 single crochet, and then swap back to black to finish the round with 12 more single crochet. Round 10 is 14 single crochet in black, 8 single crochet in white, and then 14 single crochet in black. Round number 11 is 15 single crochet in black, 6 single crochet in white, and then 15 single crochet in black. In round 12, we're going to have a few additional color changes just because we're starting to make the teeth, but the technique still remains the same. We'll still be using the same technique we've used previously. We'll just be using it a little bit more frequently. We're going to start off with 15 single crochet in black, then we're going to do 2 single crochet in white, 2 more single crochet in black, 2 single crochet in white, and then 15 single crochet in black to finish off. For round 13, we're going to begin decreasing, but because for some of the stitches in this round we need to do our color change on the decrease, that means the color change technique changes just slightly. So we're going to do this round together. We're going to begin, if I can keep my hook in where it's supposed to be, 1, and let me just get this back in. We're going to start off with 4 single crochet, 1 decrease repeated twice in black. Decrease. After that second decrease in black, we're going to do 4 more single crochet in our black yarn. 2 and then 3, 4. On the 4th, I'm going to change to my white yarn. I've changed to my white yarn, and now what we need to do is 1 decrease in white, but we're going to be changing straight back to the black yarn. In the white, go under the front loop of the next stitch, then under the front loop of the stitch after that, so we're beginning our decrease. You're going to yarn over and pull through both of those front loops, and you should have 2 loops of white yarn on your hook. At this point, we drop our white yarn, pick up our black, and we're going to yarn over, pull through the 2 loops with our black yarn, and finish that way. We're then going to do 1 single crochet only in the black, which means I'll go into my stitch, yarn over, pull through, so I have 2 loops of black yarn on my hook. I'm going to drop the black, pick up the white, yarn over, and finish the single crochet in the white. This time I'm going to do 1 single crochet in the white, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops of white on my hook, drop that, pick the black back up, and I'm going to finish in black. Then I'm going to do 2 single crochet in black, 1 and 2. I'm then going to do a decrease in the black, and then I'm going to finish this round with 4 single crochet, 1 decrease, repeated twice in the black. I'm also going to be working over my white yarn now because round 13, which we've just completed, well, 3/4 completed, is our final color change round, so we're not going to need the white anymore. I'm just going to get rid of the white, we don't need that any longer, and continue on in just the black. And our next round, which will be round 14, is 3 single crochet, 1 decrease, repeated 6 times. When round 14's done, we're going to add our safety eyes. And I need to grab mine. Where did I put them? We're going to place the safety eyes between rounds 8 and 9, about 7 stitches apart. Although the 7 stitches is sort of a rough estimate, you're better off aiming for getting them centered in the skull rather than exactly 7 stitches apart. So you may find that 6 stitches works, 8 stitches works. Just stick them in. So we're going to count out 1, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So this is 8 and 9 here. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. Get that first one in. I'm going to count 7 stitches back. 4, 5, 6, 7, and then place that in the 8th. And I reckon this one is a little bit too far out, so I'm going to bring that in. And that's all you have to do, just adjust it so they sit well on the skull. And I think that looks a bit better. So when you have your eyes in place, you can pop the backs on. Just click those in. And then we're going to crochet round 15, which is 2 single crochet and a decrease repeated 3 times. No, wait, it's not 3 times, it's 6 times. Repeated 6 times. When round 15's done, it is now stuffing time, so you want to grab that. And then with the stuffing in, we're going to crochet our last 2 rounds. Round 16 is 1 single crochet, 1 decrease, repeated 6 times. And then our final round of the head, round 17, is 6 decreases. When round 17's done, just cut a short tail and you're going to pull up with your hook, and for this next step you'll grab your needle. We're going to thread this yarn tail we've just left through our needles, and then to close up this hole we're going to go under the front loops of the last 6 stitches. Start from behind the front loop, you're going to push your needle under it and forward, and you're going to repeat this for all 6 stitches. Once you've gone through all 6 stitches, then just pull on the yarn and that hole will close up. And the last thing we need to do is just secure this end. Insert your needle directly into the center of round 17, the last round. Weave this tail end in through the body a few times. get rid of that excess yarn, and we are done. If you would like to make a head that is one solid color, you're just going to follow the same pattern, but obviously leave out the color changes. For example, for a couple of these earlier rounds, we did like 2 single crochet, 1 increase, repeated twice in black, repeated twice in white, and then repeated twice again in black. You would just do 2 single crochet, 1 increase, repeated 6 times in whatever color you happen to be using. So it's fairly straightforward to change from this color change head to a solid color head. Once again, just ignore the color changes. Alrighty, with the head done, we are then going to go on and crochet the ears, which will be our final piece of crocheting, I think. Yeah, we don't need to crochet anything else, unless you would like to add some little details to your cats later. But for now, we're just crocheting the ears. We're going to begin with 6 single crochet in a magic circle. Round 2 is 1 single crochet and an increase repeated 3 times. Round 3 is 2 single crochet and an increase repeated 3 times. I was just scrubbing through my footage quickly and I realized that I forgot to record round 4 of the ear. So I'm going to do that on the ear I'm making for my little Frankenstein monsters cat. And round 4 is 2 single crochet, 1 increase, repeated 4 times. To finish off the ear, what we're going to do is crochet the 2 sides together. You can skip this bit, but I find it makes it a lot easier to sew on. To crochet them together, you're going to go into the first stitch, but then you're just going to maneuver your hook head around until you can push it out of the last stitch. So we've gone into stitch 1, and then we're going out of stitch 16. Once you've gone through both of those stitches, yarn over, pull through them both, and then finish your single crochet. We're going to work our way down the piece, single crocheting as we go. For the next one, go into stitch number 2. You're going to go out of stitch 15 at the back, single crochet, into stitch 3, out of stitch 14, single crochet, and just keep working your way down until you've done 8 single crochet. Because we had 16 when we finished, then dividing that in 2 gives us 8. When you're done, you're going to need to leave a yarn tail so we can sew this on. And depending on what version of the Hallow Kitties you're making, you may need to make 1 or 2 ears. For this skeleton one, I'm going to be making a second in black, but if you're making like the zombie one, for example, you may only need to make 1. All our parts are crocheted now, so we can begin putting this little Hallow Kitty together. You're going to take the head and the body pieces, and we're just going to plop the head straight on top of the body, right in the center like that. So you're going to pin that in place. Make sure that your eyes are sitting above the legs. So right between the eyes lines up between the top of the legs here. And we're just going to pin that in place and then sew those 2 pieces together. When you've finished sewing the 2 pieces together, what you can do with the excess yarn is sew the 2 front legs to the body. This is optional. Personally, I don't like the way that they stick out like this. So I'm just going to place them down flat against the body. I'm going to put in a couple of pins so they'll stay in position. And then I'm just going to weave my needle in down through the last stitch I worked here. I'm going to push it all the way down. until it's under one of the legs. And then I'm just going to sew the bottom of the foot to the body. I'm going to push my needle across to the next leg and do the same. And now that that is done, I'm going to just weave this tail end in through the body. If the piece of yarn you had left over from sewing on the head isn't long enough, you can either sew the tail on first, and if that bit of yarn is long enough, you can use that to do the same thing, or you can just cut a new length of black yarn and sew the legs on using that. When those are sewn together, I'm going to put the tail on next, and I have a bit of pipe cleaner here, which I'm going to use so the tail is posable. And I'm just going to insert that straight in there before sewing it on. And then if you sit your kitten down, we're just going to put the tail right at the base of the back here, like that. And I'm going to get it centered between the back of the head so it lines up there. And I'll only be using one pin. You don't need too many for this because it's nice and small. And where did I put my needle? Found it. All right, let's sew that on now. And let's just weave that end in now. And then the final bit of sewing that we need to do is to attach the ears. And I'm going to place them between, or the tops of the ears, between rounds 2 and 3. Got round 1 there, I don't know how you can see the black, but 1, 2 and 3. The top is going to sit right there. I would recommend that you pin both ears first before you sew one on, just so you can get a feel for how they look together. Once you're happy with the positioning, we're then going to sew those on as well. Now that all the sewing's finished, we've just got to add the details, and the first one I'm going to add is the nose, and the technique that we're going to use for this remains the same for the other details. So if you want to add some bones or the rib cage, you're going to do this the same way. You're going to begin by inserting your needle with the thread into a part of the head or body, depending on which section you're working on. You're going to push that through to where you want the detail to begin. So I want the nose to be about here, so I'm going to push my needle out through that stitch, and I'm going to pull on my thread until just a small tail of yarn is left hanging out of this original stitch I worked into. This just needs to be long enough that I'll be able to tie a knot with it later on. From here, you're going to create your design, and I'll see how this goes. I might have to move that stitch. Nope, that's okay. So I'm just going to create a nose by making a small upside down triangle, and I'm going to go around that twice. And as I'm doing this, I'm pulling firmly on the yarn so that the nose will lie flat. Once I've done my design, I'm going to push my needle from this point all the way out, all the way until I reach the original stitch I worked into. Again, black is so difficult to see, but the exact same stitch that I worked into here, I'm going out of now. Once I've done that, I'm just going to tie off these two ends. I'm just going to do 3 or 4 knots so it's nice and secure. And 3, cut off the excess yarn. And I'm just going to push that knot back into the body. You can also use a needle or a crochet hook to grab it and pull it back in if you want. And then if you want to add the bones, you're going to do the same thing but with some white yarn. there we go, that is our skeleton kitty complete. If you would like to, you can also do what I did on this one, and that is to surface crochet slip stitches around the shape of the skull here. I did it on this one and I'm still not sure how I feel about it. I don't know if I like it or not. So for this one, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to leave it as is. And as I said before, you can use this basic pattern to create any of the skeleton kitties. Here's the Franken kitty, the one that I made the grey body for. Doesn't have any of its details yet, but I will add those in a moment. And that is all we're going to be covering in this video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I will see you next week with a new pattern.